It is Thursday, the 17th of September 1953, and the Detroit Tigers are visiting the Boston Red Sox. This episode is a new approach to telling the story of America's favourite game. Just as radio stations would recreate baseball games from ticker tape messages, we can research this classic game and present it to you as if you were listening to the radio in 1953. Information was sourced from several sites and records, including retrosheet.org and sportsreference.com. This broadcast should not be considered a complete or fully accurate historical record. Nevertheless, this is our story of the game.
Thanks to the weather there, Sal. Good to know that the rain over the last couple of days is easing off and the weekend looks to be sunny. How does that hit the field here at just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon? Well, we're sitting at a relatively balmy 69 on the thermometer. Wind, there's a little bit of a light breeze when you're coming down the street to walk into Fenway, but that's smashing straight into the delightful seating area here behind me, behind home plate, looking out over onto the Munster and our teams here. So not a huge amount of wind on the park. I guess if you loft it high enough, you might pick up a little bit of effort, but it really is a good day for baseball here. Detroit Tigers welcoming by the Boston Red Sox here. Tigers drawing first blood last night. It's a 2-game series, so Detroit 8, Boston 3 last night. Detroit looking to solidify their place 6th in the American League. Boston are 36-37 at home. They do not want to finish the season on a losing record here at the park that they call their own. There are 3 games left to play, and they're 1 behind getting to 500 and 2 getting over. So it might be September, might have a World Series decided. Who would have thought? It's Yankees Dodgers. But there's still a lot to play for here. We'll have a look down our lineups and our umpires now. So I just check out. It looks like we are going to have Sid Hudson on the mound for the Red Sox. And he's just taking a couple of warm-up pitches just now. We were just wiring in the field microphone. So Detroit Tigers, let's have a look at the lineup, what we have there. Batting number 1, shortstop Harvey Kuenn. Batting 2, second baseman Fred Hatfield. And batting 3rd in the lineup, third baseman Ray Boone. So that's going to be your 1-2-3 to open up the top of the first. Kuenn, Hatfield and Boone. Batting 4th is the left fielder Bob Naiman. Batting 5th is the first baseman Walt Dropo. And batting 6th, closing out the middle of the order, will be the right fielder Bud Sujok. Closing out, it's going to be the catcher Johnny Butcher. The centre fielder, Kaline, rookie, doing quite well since he started up in June, and pitching for the Tigers, and batting 9th will be Ned Garver. What's our pitcher lineups? So Garver's batting at 159, pitch can hit. Sid Hudson, 146. So quick look at the defensive lineups. So we still got a few more pitches to go through. Okay, defense for the Boston Red Sox. Well, out there in left field is still great to see Ted Williams back. Ted Williams in your left field, Tom Hopflet in your center, and Jim Piersall is your right. Milt Bolling is going to be your shortstop for the Bostons. Your Ted Rogers 3-2-1 across the middle. George Kell at 3rd, Billy Goodman at 2nd, Dick Garner at 1st. Catching is going to be Sammy White, and he is going to be catching the ball for Sid Hudson. Umpires for today's game as they just wave the players into position. We have Bill McKinley at home plate, and he's going to be your umpire chief for the game. Bill McGowan over at first base, Joe Paparella at 2nd, and Jim Honachik keeping an eye on the rules and everything at 3rd base. So we're getting ready to get underway here at Fenway Park. As always, our newfangled telegram system is available in the office. So classicbaseball.neocities.org, and you can get in touch with myself and the broadcast team here at Classic Baseball Radio. And yes, the actual Fall Classic is coming up, but for now, can Boston get that winning record? Can the Tigers stay ahead of the Athletics and the Browns? All of that is underway as we get A little nod of the hat there. Bill McKinley. Over to Sid Hudson with the ball, getting ready to start the game here at Fenway Park. It's Harvey Kuenn who's going to be in the box. And Sid Hudson takes the wind, and we're underway there with a high fast ball there from Sid Hudson. And we're going to start off at 1-0. And just a little bit of time here as we get to settle in, and it's going to be an interesting one as we see that one go foul to take us to a count equal low 1-1. Hudson coming in with a rather unusual side arm delivery, just bringing that in, just a little bit of deceptive, and the off speeds can cat through, and that ball's hit smartly and it goes out and it's picked up in the ground there. Billy Goodwin stopping that at second, and underarm Dick Garner at first base, and just like that, there's your 4-3, and we are one away. And Harvey Kuenn, well, not really feeling comfortable at all on that ball. So Sid Hudson there, little sidearm throw, and likes to cause it that. Your fast balls can be very, very high. It looks like they're climbing up in the zone. Fred Hatfield steps in now. Familiar face for the Red Sox fans, played here for 3 years, 1950 through 52, and he knows the dimensions of the park here. And he's called strike one as that one and goes past the eyes, and that takes us to 0-1, batting 270 for the year. And 0-1 is ready there, and hit smartly back, picked up off the ground. Sid Hudson in his feet, throws fast. Dick Garner on the run for yes, it's going to be in time, and the out is made at first base. So it's a 2 up, 2 down, all coming from the ground, and all working Dick Garner's glove hard at first base. 2 up, 2 down, top of the first here in Fenway Park as Ray Boone steps in now. Massively strong arm on Ray at the moment. 4 grand slams this year as he sees ball 1, and that just goes to the outside. Maybe in the centre with a curveball just dropping on there, but it is going to be ball 1 there for a 1-0 count. And just sizing up and bouncing the feet here, and lets that one go past, but it's going to be a called strike low in the zone. It's not getting a lot of drop on that ball, but the low release point just doing everything. Throw your eyes. 1-1 comes down, and that's going to be hit high, going out into the left field. It's going to bounce in front of Ted Williams. Ted not having the speed he had back in the 40s, so just watches that bounce, collects it into the glove afterwards, and that's going to be a single for Ray Boone. We have our first base runner for the Detroit Tigers. Ray building on his 303 for the season so far. Bob Neiman comes in now. Another familiar face who's enjoyed Fenway, hopping in and playing for us here in 1951. And that one's going to be fouled back, bounces around the third base dugout on that one as count goes 0-1. So 1 runner on, 2 away, and here in the top of the first. So we've got a Ray Boone over at first base as Bob Neiman watches that one go past. Count goes equal low, 1-1. Just takes a moment, so it's 2 away. Sid Hudson can do the business here, and a little glance over to Ray Boone sitting there at first as that's going to be a cold strike there to take us to 1-2. Bob Neiman looking to do some damage with his teammate up there on first. Sid Hudson going to get this out of the way if it's all possible. And there's the wind up, then there's the pitch, and that's going to be hit high, and there's a going long into the outfield. Tom Uplet steps back once onto the warning track, feet planted, and it is into the glove there for out number 3. Comfortable fly ball out there. Just one step back needed from Tom Umflett there. He's already playing relatively deep out there. There's the Green Monsters foul pole. And with that, the side is retired for the first inning. No runs, no errors. One hit and one left on base afterwards there. And into that we are going to welcome Red Sox team. So that is going to be Billy Goodman, second baser, is going to be a lead-off batter. Jim Piersall will be batting second as right fielder, Jim Piersall. And batting third is your left fielder, Ted Williams. Batting third with a 400 record. Got more on that later on in the game. George Kell is batting fourth from third base. Batting fifth is your first baseman, Dick Garner. Batting sixth, closing out the middle of the order, is going to be a catcher, Sammy White. 7, 8, 9 for the Red Sox. Center field, Tom Umflett is 7. Shortstop, Milton Bowling, 8th. And the pitcher, Sid Hudson, is going to be batting 9th. Defensive lineup across the top: Bob Neiman, Al Kaline, and Bud Suchuk is your left, center, right. Harvey Kuenn is your shortstop. And your Ted Rogers 3-2-1. Ray Boone is the 3. Fred Hatfield is the 2. Walt Dropo is your 1. Johnny Bujak catching, and Ned Garber is pitching, and is going to be going into Billy Goodman, and Garber is going to open up with called strike 1. Goodman batting 310, and it's been a weird one for Boston. They've got some good numbers all the way through the lineup here, but they've not really all been connecting up as they would like to do. As you can see, they're at 36-37 home record, and that's going to be fouled down the feet around the batter's box. So we're going to go 0 and 2 on that one there. Just looking for the Red Sox. They've been waiting all year to catch their bats and try to get a fire going. As we get ball 1 there, just going to the inside on the left-handed Billy Goodman. So we're 1 and 2. Yeah, everyone's been waiting just really for Boston bats to get going. There's a lot of hope that Ted Williams would have been able to bring that back up as we get ball 2 going through for count equal high, 2 and 2. Even though Ted started posting up some big numbers, the team didn't really follow. 2 and 2 comes down now, and that's going to be hit foul off that one there as well. But actually the chase is going to go on. Ray Boone's going to go underneath one at the dugout and dives up, picks that up, keeps the feet in play. And with that, Goodman is going to be called down on that fly territory. Hop out there over at third base. Looked comfortably going foul, but Ray Boone decided otherwise. Started the run over. Dive to slide into it in the warning track in foul territory, but it's good catch. So 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Nothing on the board yet as Jim Piersall comes in, having absolutely fantastic year in terms of individual records, going 273, and hits that one foul. The people just wanting to swing and hit the ball today. 0 and 1 going through there. Piersall going to be remembering back to June 10th. Managed to post 6 hits in that game, which was going to be a club record then, and still is as the 0-1 comes down. And that's going to go for hold strike. Piersall, I think if I was closer I would have seen an eyebrow raised on that one. There was certainly a long stare at umpire Bill McKinley. Not 2 sitting here for Jim Piersall. And there's the wind, there's pitch and contact's made. That's heading over on the ground. Bouncer Hatfield picks that up at second. Walt Dropo reaches out and gets that. Foot stays on the bag. Ball goes into the glove, and Jim Piersall keeps going and heads to the dugout on that one. Ground ball there towards Fred Hatfield. Comfortable pick up over the Dropo over at first. And so Ted Williams steps in now. Missed all of last year and some of this year. There's all up to serve in Korea. Came back and now batting 400 for the year so far. So the heat and the arm is still there. And he watches that one go for a whole strike one. The discipline of just waiting for the moment is still one of Williams' biggest strength. Not one comes down. That's going to be hit high. It's going to be short in the left field though. Bob Neiman's just jogging underneath that one. Catches it on the jog there, and the side is retired in order. Lee Goodman up for a fly ball into foul territory. One on the ground, gets out Piersall, and Williams pops that one up high and goes out into the left field. So it's duck eggs across the board. No runs, no hits, no errors. None left on base. Ned Garver will be happy with that performance. Coming up for the Tigers, it's going to be Walt Dropo, Boris Suchek and Johnny Bucha as your 1, 2, 3 in the order. When you need to hear clarity, you need the best. When you need the best, you need to play it on a piper. No matter if it's jazz, swing or big band, you need the best. You need to play it on a piper. The latest wireless models are at the Boston Piper showroom on 57 Main Street. So weather here, as we said there, it's 69 on the thermometer. And wind just not making it past first base and the seats behind us. I'm just being told it's wireless radio. I've got to say the word radio on those adverts. Okay. I'll be able to give them a discount now. Hope not. Right then, Walt Dropo, Bud Suchuk and Johnny Bucha is going to be your 1, 2, 3 for the second inning. No runs on the board as yet for either team. Sid Hudson stays on the bump, Sammy White stays as catcher, and Dropo just steps in now. So we are underway here in the top of the second, and that's going to be a ball that goes high over the zone on that one, so it's a 1-0. And when Hudson throws high, it looks like it's going to come down with snow on it. I have to remember that one, that's a good one. No snow in the sky here. The rain clouds have dissipated, thankfully. As that one there's fouled off, rolls down the first base line, takes his equal low, 1-1. Gathering the papers here, Walt Dropo getting a Rookie of the Year back in 1950. It's been in Boston since then. There's ball 2, so Dropo gets himself ahead in the count, 2-1. Sid Hudson just not working the zone to get the strikes, working to get that ball into his outfield if at all possible. And that one's going to be ball 3, so 3-1. Who's going to get the signal if he wants to? 3-2, he will wait to see if it's the right one. 3-1 comes down. Oh, hefty swing, but foul there. As that just slides off the bottom of the bat and slaps along the ground. Over into the stands down third baseline, actually. It's a bit of a tank slapper, that one. Okay, so that takes us to a 3-2, so count is full. No outsides yet, no runs from either team here as we're at the top of the second. With the Tigers, and that one is going to be hit out into left field. It's going to be a base hit, that one comfortably, as it rolls between Mitt Bowling out at short and then towards Ted Williams' feet. Gathered and thrown in. Bowling just takes that and covers it as a shortstop. So Walt Dropo is going to be second base runner for the Detroit Tigers. Ray Boone was just left abandoned out at first base in the first inning. And Walt will be looking to do just a little bit more than that this time around. But Suchuk is going to be coming in here as well. 39-year-old has known lots of the game, having a bit of an Indian summer here, batting 310 and our mid-September, so that's a number that's going to stay pretty steady for the rest of the year. That one goes past for a called strike one, and one on Suchek, a runner at first. It's his teammate Walt Dropo. Suchek, all right, batting right-handed, so you can expect this one to slide down the left field. Gives himself a lot of space if he can. Same with the Dropo getting space as well. And there's the hit. It's going to be a line drive, and he's going down that left field, and it's underneath Bowling's arm, and it rolls in the distance. And Dropo is going to be on the run. Passes second, passes third. Long throw comes in. Williams picks it up. George Kell's going to intercept it at third base, but not before Dropo makes it over the line, and there is your first run of the game on a 270-foot sprint round the bases there on Walt Dropo. And all of that, though, Suchek is going to come away with an RBI double. Hit that smartly down the left field line, and rather than go for the out at second, Goodman was covering. Williams went for the relay throw down to George Kell at third to try and prevent the run going in. Not in time, though, so we've got one on the board for the Detroit Tigers here, and a reminder that the Red Sox are needing 2 wins out of the last 3 games, including this one, to guarantee themselves at least 500 for the season. Johnny Butcher steps in. No outs. 1 run scored. 1 run in scoring position up there. It's Suchek on second base. Catcher Johnny Butcher is essentially just filling in today as relief catcher to give. Johnny Butcher swings and sends that one out into the outfield. Tom Umflett is on the run, but he slipped on that one there. Ball bounces just in front of him, gets it in the glove. It's not going to go any further. He's got a control of the ball there, and it's just going to be... No, it's signalled a fair catch. That to... There's a step out from the dugout there as we're getting the Tigers manager just heading out to Jim Honachek, but turned round and going, nope, it is actually a fair catch. Even off the stumble, and Tom Umflett out there in the outfield. So, well, there we are. It's going to be a fly ball catch on Umflett. So, but Suchek is going to tag up and get himself down to third base and no more, but he's 90 feet away from the second run, which is still not happy on that one there, as we welcome in Kaline. His first start in the majors back in June. I think back in June, that makes him sound like it's an age ago. And we've got folks here who've been playing baseball for more than 10 years, so they're going to look at somebody going, 3 months? Ah, it's a baby. And the baby draws ball 1. Yeah, just leaning over. Johnny Butcher's just lashing hysterics in the dugout where everybody else convinced that that ball hit the ground before. Umflett just take that bounced round as we get ball 2. Kaline getting himself ahead in the count here as well. Okay, so Kaline is on there with a 2-0 with a 1 run scored and a teammate in scoring position up at third base here at the top of the second. Big swing foul over the back there to take it to 2-1. Youth likes a big swing. Experience says wait until you see something coming in over the plate, otherwise you're just going to end up throwing one into the ground. And he takes a check swing on that one. It's going to be called a ball, so 3-1. Kaline, I'd only been here for 3 months, has climbed up to 278 with a 1 RBI. Might like to double that score here. Fouls that one off there. The one going high and not much distance, but still safely over fencing, so no more catches in foul territory, at least for the Tigers. Okay, so 3-2. What's that 3-2? Oh, and this ground ball goes over, and yeah, it's picked up Goodman. At second, Dick Garner on first. There's that combination again. Kaline just stops running halfway up the line. Smart pace on the ball there. It just also means it gets over and through the infield far quicker than, say, a really interesting bunt. Okay, so 2 away. Runner remains at third base for the Detroit Tigers, up by 1 run so far. Bottom of the order, Ned Garver. It was pitcher time. Sid Hudson doing the pitching, Ned Garver doing the swinging, and St. Garver has the advantage here with a 159 as he takes a swing and a miss on that one there and sends that one. Hits and fouls. Anyway, hefty, whatever, indicated as a foul. Not, and a 1 on Garver. 2 away so far for the Tigers. Runner at third. They're looking to try and get some distance. Line drive is going to bring him in, and that one's going to be hit high, and it is going to go out in the left field. Williams happy did not have to sprint for that one. 2 or 3 steps and takes that. Steps in to the park away from the Green Monster. Gets that ball. Fly ball caught out there in left field. And with that side retired. But not before the some fun there. 2 hits on the board, 1 run coming through, 1 left on base. No errors charged to the Red Sox, but it's Detroit Tigers 1, Boston Red Sox 0. I'm still going to call it 0. I know I get letters about it, but there you go. Let me have a couple of traditions from the homeland, okay? Right then, so we're going to be going into the bottom of the second, and as we said, there is a bit of pressure on the Red Sox here to make sure that they stay with a winning record, or at least take it to 500 for the season. But the Detroit Tigers, again, playing for a bit more than pride as well. Currently 6th in the American League, 40 games behind the New York Yankees, who had sealed their place in the World Series on Monday. They're going to be facing the Brooklyn Dodgers, who cleared that hurdle last week, and they've now got Milwaukee 12 games back in the National League. So both of those teams once more playing in the Fall Classic. Detroit, though, they're not going to catch Washington. They're 23 back and 17 ahead of the Tigers, but the Athletics are just 3 games back with 7 to play. Including this game here, so they are looking just to scratch in 4 wins to a guarantee they take and hold on to 6 in the league. Bit of pride there. Although if they've got some bonuses or anything going on for league position, they'll be keeping a close eye on that one. Okay, right then, so we're heading into the bottom of the second. Boston Red Sox trailing by 1. It's well within a single swing of the bat to change game. George Kell, Dick Garner and Sammy Point are in just now. And Garver remains pitching for the Tigers. And that's going to be ball 1 there, coming in high. Oh, it's a 1-0 count on George Kell. Loves his line drives, does George. And I'll just be waiting to watch that one go past ball 2. Just waiting for the right one to come through here. Ned Garver is just taking it easy. Not a huge amount of power that he likes in his game, but watches that one there, and that's going to be called ball 3, so it's a 3-0, and Cal is nicely ahead in the count. And Garver just likes playing around with the speed, as that one's going to be fouled. Comes out and goes down low and left there. Slider coming in there from Garver. Yeah, so Garver likes his power, but never finds it. Relies more on the sliders and the sinkers and for the infield to do their work. 3-1 is fouled off to a 3-2, so there we are. George Kell opening up the bottom of the second. Boston 1 run back, and now with a full count on this one. The off pitch comes down, and that's going to be a line drive, heads down left field. Bob Neiman now running in to scoop that one off the ground, but it's comfortably over to first base for George Kell. It's the first base runner for the Red Sox. Bottom of the second, chasing 1 run, so it's a tying run at first, and Dick Garner is going to be the go-ahead. I said Ned Garber didn't have power in his pitching. Garner certainly has the power in the batting. And there's going to be ball 1 again. Yeah, that's going to be ball 1 there as that swings to the outside and low. Sinker just working to get the shape of the strike zone of umpire Bill McKinley behind home. And it's going to be fouled off there. And we're equal, 1-1. Garver is carrying an injury. This 1-1 goes for a ball 2, 2-1. Say carrying an injury. He's been carrying at that for most of the summer, so I mean, he's used to it, but he is still carrying it there. And that one goes wild, and it goes out of the glove and drops around the feet of Johnny Butcher, and it's far enough that George Kell gets up to second base on that one. So you're a tying run, puts themselves into scoring position. Wild pitch there bounces around the dirt, and Garver back for there. That Butcher got the catcher's glove around it, but in all of that stumble, Kell took off. Kell took himself to second. So no outs here in the bottom of second. 1 run down. Tying run is up at second. Go ahead is now facing 3-1 count. And there's options available here if you want some with no outs and a runner on second, and that's going to be lofted up high. It's going to be a shallow center field there. Kaline is going to come in and take that one there and just stare down Cal at second base, going, you tag up and run, I am going to get you. No need on that one. Okay, so that's a fly to center there for Dick Garner, called by Kaline, and 1 away. George Kell left out there on second base. Sammy White steps in now. Very solid year. Picked for the catcher's slot in the All-Star game. And the Detroit will be aware just how much damage he can do. Monster inning for the Red Sox Tigers back on June 18th. And there's going to be ball 1. Sammy White, beneficiary of going around the order 3 times in that game. And 3 runs in the single inning. I think that hadn't been achieved before that since 1883. Fouled off down the left. 1-1 coming through there. So White knows where to put the ball, knows when to not do anything with it. As the catcher's eye to help him as well as he watches that. And that catcher's eye. It's another ball, so it's 2-1. He comes down, swing and a miss. 2-2. Count goes equal high. Runner up on second, and George Kell 1 away. 1 run down for the Boston Red Sox here. So that's going to be hit high. It's going out towards left field. Bob Neiman is waving that he's got that one, and it's into the glove there. Basket catch quite comfortably there. And again, just a little look out over to second base. Dick Garner, well, his foul didn't allow George Kell to advance. Sammy White's fly ball out didn't allow any advances either. So tying run stays up there on second base. No outs reached there, then 1 out, then 2 outs. So now it's Tom Umflett. The rookie stepping in now. Well, he's made centre field his own since Dom DiMaggio was pushed out for a few games and never got that place back again. Fouls that one down, strike one. Another one on outfield, 2 away. But he's stepping up to the plate, has had a role in this potential so far, tying one. George Kell. Called strike 2 there, so it's a 0-2. Garner was the go-ahead and caught out. Sammy White was the go-ahead and was caught out. So Waffler is now the go-ahead as well, and it's a swing and a miss. Strike 3 called, and with that it's a side retired there. And the Tigers will be happy with that one there. They got 1 in 2 position. The Red Sox could not capitalise any more on that, so we've played through 2. Bottom of the second, one hit, no runs. Waking up. Sounds like I commented a late night game last night, isn't it? So, numbers on the board, no runs coming off 1 hit, no errors charged to the Tigers, and just the 1 left on base for the Red Sox. When you need to hear clearly, you need the best. When you need the best, you need to play it on a piper. No matter if it's jazz, swing, or big band, you need the best. You need to play it on a pipe. The latest wireless radio models are at the Boston Piper showroom on 57 Main Street. Played through 2, and the Tigers are up by 1. It's not a must-win for either team, but it's we really, really, really need this win to finish out September with a little bit of pride. 1, 2, 3 coming up for the Tigers is going to be going back to the top of the order. Harvey Kuenn, Fred Hatfield and Ray Boone. Ray, the first hit in the first inning here as we head into the 3rd. And Harvey Kuenn steps in there, facing Sid Hudson once more, and that's going to be called first strike. Slides through the top of the zone. So it's 0-1. Harvey Kuenn, 19 games last year, so probably just call this year his rookie year. But 1 comes in, foul down right hand line. Batting right-handed, so in the left-hand box, so if you budding commentators out there will realise that that is an early swing. Or maybe it isn't. Think about the maths in your head. And that's going to be ball 1 there. Some throwing to his favourite inside low spot, but just out of range there. He's going to need a bigger strike zone if you want to take that one in there. 1-2. Comes down there, and that's the same place and the same result. Ball 2. 2 strikes as well, so count is equal high. 2-2. Comes down, and that's going to be lofted high. Williams is on the run, slowing down. Feet planted into the glove, 1 away. And Fred Hatfield comes in now. Round out previously in the first inning. And sitting there in the box ready there. Sid Hudson just waves off 1 pitch call from his catcher Sammy White. Happy with that choice now, throws it down, and that's going to be ball 1. Trying to find that inside low, this slider. And the 1-0 is fouled off. High into the stands. 1-1. Sept Hatfield, previous player for the Red Sox, played here in 1950, 1951, 1952. So everybody goes, Fenway's a bit of a funny shape. It's going to be called strike 2. Outfield knows the corners, those little dips, that little crook out of the 420 line. And there's a hits that one there, and it goes back, and it's picked up off the ground. Sid Hudson takes a beat, decides to do a general toss to Dick Garner over at first there. So it's 1-3 and away. 2 up, 2 down for the Tigers here at the top of the third. 1 run up though against the Boston Red Sox as we welcome in Ray Boone. Please tell me I haven't given him a new nickname. Don't tell him that, okay? Third baseman for the Tigers, singled in the first, and now similar situation. The two ahead of him have been caught by the defense, so he'll be fouling that one for not one. Good single for 1-1 in the first inning with 2 away. And there's 2 away now here as well. Hits that one smartly out there, picked up. Ned Balding is going to take that one. Throws over Dick Garner from shortstop to first base in time, and with that side retired in order. And zeros across the board on that one. No runs, no hits, none left on base for the Tigers. No errors charged to the Boston Red Sox outfield. So it's another 0 on the board, just down to 1 run in the second. For the Tigers, the difference between the two teams coming up now for the Red Sox. It is going to be Milt Balding, Sid Hudson, and then back to the top of the order with Billy Goodman. A couple of day games going on for you. We'll be getting you the score, intermediate scores as we go along. We've got the 2 night games for you as well, which we'll do our best to keep you up to date with, and that's going to be Cleveland and Philadelphia, and of course the Tigers are going to be keeping a close eye on that one as the Athletics chase down 3-game gap to them with 6 games to go, fighting for 6th place. Also on the card for tonight, it's going to be the White Sox traveling from Chicago down to play Washington as well. Just look at the standings on that one. Washington 23 back, 4 behind Boston, so in theory they could get Boston as well. 6 to play, 4 behind. Would need Boston's bats to just not catch light, but hey, let's all look back at the rest of the season. Boston 79-68, not a great year for the team. Milt Balding steps in now here in the bottom of the third, batting 269 for the season, and going to open up with a foul ball that pushes itself down first base line. Foul. Not by far though, did get past Dropo and over there at first base. But Sushok out there in right field. So it's not 1. And called strike 2. So not 2. Ed Garver still pitching for the Tigers. And Balding lets the not 2 go past there for a ball. That takes that to 1 and 2. Garver just trying to work this on and get a good feel of the corners. That's the case, you can start watching those sliders start pouring in as he gets those established. Still trying to find that one there, so that goes inside and low on the right-hander. Milt Balding 2 and 2. Usual for him to throw the same pitch 3 times in a row, but if I know that, he knows that. And Balding knows that, and Garver knows that, and watches that one go high. Fastball slides over the top of the strike zone, and the count goes full 3 and 2. Milt Balding opening batter for the Boston Red Sox. So it's a full count. Contact made, heads up, and that's picked up by Ray Boone over at third, who throws over the diamond. And Walt Drobo picks that one up there as well. So it is one away. Bottom of the second open up with an on-base full count. Bottom of the third is open up with a round out from a full count as well. Okay, so it's picture-picture match-up time once more, but it is reversed. Sid Hudson is going to be in the batter's box, and it's Ned Garber on the mound. Hudson batting 146 with 6 RBI. Either of these pitchers you would want to specifically avoid in the lineup, so they can be productive. And watches that one go past for ball 1. However, just taking a moment here. A bit of pace on that last one. Hudson also batting right-handed, and ball 2. Fast but low. See a 2-0. However, got themselves to the wind. Cold strike one, and that's the bottom inside corner he's been looking for in the last 2 innings. Question now is if he's comfortable there, or he needs a few more just to understand what is going on. Hudson swings on that one, makes contact there, and it's drive, and it's picked up comfortably by Fred Hatfield. Fast bouncer going out to the outfield, intercepted there. Fred Hatfield on a stretch. And it's ball in the glove before glove and in the ground, so that is 2 away. Back to the top of the order now. Billy Goodman caught foul territory to open up the Red Sox in the bottom of the first. The league batting champion in 1950, so I believe he knows what he wants to do with that. Watches that one for ball 1. It's the one base runner so far for the Red Sox, and they are down by 1 here. Fenway Park in the third. And that one's going to be hit high, and it's going into the centre field. It's going to fall short, but there's a gap there. Kaline can't close down the distance even at the run, so passing first and carried on the speed up to second. It's going to be a double there for Billy Goodman. And just a wave to the crowds there as well. We'll be able to pick out individuals here. There's a lot more empty space than there are filled seats here. So Billy Goodman double puts him as the tying run into scoring position up there on second base. Jim Piersall comes in now. And so it's 2 away, runner on second, down by 1 run for the Boston right fielder. And that's going to be called first strike. Not on 1. Goodman just bouncing, taking a little bit of a lead, but not too much. 2 away. Doesn't want to break the rule of thumb. Don't get yourself out at third. And that's low and inside. Called a ball. Still not getting that corner anchored in the eyes of home plate umpire Bill McKinley. 1-1 comes down, swing and a miss. And that's going to take us to 1-2. Boston 1-1 back, and a tying run up there in second. Jim Piersall 2 away, trying to get his teammate in. 1-2. That's going to be hit strong, but picked up Harvey Kuenn. It's shot quite simply, and he's taken the throw over to Dropo at first in time there. momentary glance towards second base, but Jim Piersall not getting the pace and going for the well-practiced 6-3. And with that, the side retired. So played through 3. Boston, just the 1-2 hits so far. Single and a double, but not making anything of that. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on base in this inning. No errors charged to the Tigers outfield. So played through 3. Tigers up, but just by 1 swing of the bat there, and a single run. When you need to hear clearly, you need the best. When you need the best, you need to play it on a piper. No matter if it's jazz, swing or big band, you need the best. You need to play it on a piper. The latest wireless radio models are at the Boston Piper showroom on 57 Main Street. And we will pause here for station identification. You're listening to KCBR Classic Baseball Radio. classicbaseball.neocities.org. Top of the 4th here, and we are going to welcome in Bob Neiman, Walt Dropo and Bud Suchok for the Tigers. Sid Hudson continues to pitch for the Boston Red Sox. Detroit up by 1 single run, which they scored in the 2nd. So Bob Neiman for the Tigers comes in now and sees a called strike 1. I think from the tone of voice there you'll realise that I'm more looking for a ball on that one, but Hudson just working that one there, slider onto the inside. That's going to take us to 1-1. Ewan, of course, fouled out on the pop-up to end the 1st inning. At that point, his teammate left stranded, Ray Boone. Opening up the 4th inning now, and that's going to be a called 2nd strike. 1-2. Even, of course, as you said there, Fenway regular, winning 2 home runs into the park in 1951. I think that special was for his first 2 at-bats in his career. And watches that one go past for ball 2. That's coming up for your first 2 at-bats and then 2 home runs. Third at-bat would be a bit of a letdown, really, wouldn't it? Do we know what that was? Probably find out, but not right now. Don't know if I should have the book here somewhere, actually. I'll see if I can find that one in the next break. 2-2 comes down and watches that one for a full count, 3-2. Bob Neiman, basic full count. Again, Sid Hudson pitching here at Fenway for the Red Sox. Payoff comes down. Contact made, and that goes straight back towards Hudson. He walks halfway, and then Dick Garnett just goes, "Now give me the ball." Underarm toss, 1-3, and 1 away. So we're looking up Bob Neiman. We want to know what the play was. I am going to find that one out there while we have Walt Dropo going on in the background. It is in one. Played it at Fenway. It'll be one of my Boston scorebooks. That's where it'll be. Okay, 1950 Rookie of the Year. He'll never ever tire of hearing that. Willie Walt Dropo steps in, singled off a full count before making it all the way around in the 2nd inning. Watches that one for ball 1, 1-0. And ball 2. This is to 2-0 as well. And that's fouled off. 2-0 becomes 2-1. with that Rookie of the Year award. 12 consecutive hits. Not 12 consecutive games with hits. It's a Ted Williams record sitting there. Kind of that was like something like 67 or something games consecutive without hits. I'm giving my team a lot to check up here, to be said. Well, we should know the Ted Williams one. He's ours. And that one goes there for our called second strike, 2-2. Look, I say he's ours. That's only because we're in Boston, okay? When we're the Dodgers, there are Dodgers, okay? Right, 2-2 comes down, and that's going to be hit high, and it's going to go up and over. Nope, it's run back. Sammy White is going to take that one right at the warning catching netting behind the catcher, and that there is going to be another caught in foul territory. That's one each for the teams. As we get Billy Goodman, very first play for the Red Sox. The bottom of the first, Tigers catching that in foul territory, and now the feeling is reversed. But Suchok comes down. It's 2 up, 2 down for the Tigers, up by 1 run here in the fourth, coming to you from Fenway Park. But Suchok doubled in the second inning. Steps in now, ready to swing, and hits that one, and it is going to go out to left field. That's going to be a base hit. Right it out there. Balling just getting back from shortstop to take that one there. And a look back, but Suchok already passing the bag out first, taking him to a 2-for-2 games so far. Tony Butcher steps in now, and he's got a teammate up there at first in Suchok. He's 1 run up, but it is 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. He watches ball 1 go past there. Hudson hitting that one lowered inside with a bit of a slide. Maybe a bit less of a slide, and it'll get into the corner, but then if it's a bit less of a slide, you can see back contact being made. That would be the ball 2. Wanting that corner. Runner at first, 2 away so far for the Tigers. 2-0 comes in, and that's pitched up high, and that's going to be Tom Flood getting underneath that one there. That's going to be careful catch to retire the side and leave Bud Suchek abandoned out there on first. Tom Offlet taking that ball and then giving it a hefty bit of height afterwards to throw it to the fans up there on top of the Green Monster. Somebody's got themselves a souvenir. Boston defense preserves that deficit of 1 run. Tigers ain't getting to go further ahead on that one. 1 hit on the board for the Tigers coming from Bud Suchok, but nothing else. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on base. No errors charged to the Tigers. Well, the team scrambled to find all of those ridiculous bits of trivia. That's right, I should have thought of them before the game. We've got around the league scores as well. We've got 3 other day games taking place just now. And we've got results from the 3rd innings from all of them. Philadelphia over at the Chicago Cubs. Visitors up there for the Athletics. Not on the board yet for the Cubbies. St. Louis Browns and New Yankees tied on 1 run apiece at the Bronx. And staying in the area, the Brooklyn Dodgers down by 2. They've got 1 run, and the Cards have got 3 on the board. Anything there worth keeping an eye on? Or the teams here? Not really. Yankees, as I said, already comfortably into the World Series. Their victory over Cleveland on Monday took care of that. Cleveland in 11.5 back now at this point, and it's going to be joining them will be Brooklyn Dodgers. We're now 12 ahead of Milwaukee in the National. Okay, bottom of the fourth now for the Red Sox. Ted Williams opens up. George Kell, Dick Garner following him. Ed Garver stay pitching for the Tigers, and welcome in Ted Rogers pitching for the Red Sox. And that's ball one. Garver there, getting that one in low and to the outside of the left-handed batting Williams. And that equalises the count up there to 1-1. So since Williams came back from service, called up last year for the American adventure in Korea, there's watches that one go past for ball two. Williams posting a 400 so far, 12 home runs, 30 RBIs as he leads off the Red Sox here in the bottom of the fourth. Lets that one go past again for ball three. Garver just sitting there, keeping the ball low. It's almost like you'd be worried about putting the ball somewhere where Ted Williams can hit it. Knowing look. Cold strike two. So, count goes full, 3-2. The off pitch coming down there, and that's hit high. It's very high. It's not got any distance at all on it. Ray Boone underneath that at third base, and there's a catch there. As yet, nothing for Ted Williams. Flew out in the first, and now popped out here in the fourth. George Kell steps in. Williams, of course, was on course to do the triple in 1949 and get the crown, but George Kell just denied him that one the last moment. Now their teammates in that one as well. I'm sure it never ever comes up. And that's called strike one on Kell. Kell took the count in full in the second before getting a single, heading out and advancing up to second on a wild pitch, but nothing coming from that one. Red Sox remain one down against the Tigers as we watch that one goes foul, 0-2. Both home runs for Kell as well as Williams, but more than double the RBIs with 72. There again, I think if we look at the play count, it's probably double the number of appearances as well. Watches that one go past for ball one. 1-2. As he said, waiting for those line drives to come through, and that's fouled fast and low down the third base line. We'll stay at 1-2. It's about there. Bounces on the feet. Garver delivers. Contact made. Goes there. Hits the shortstop. And Year Harvey Kuenn has that one, and it's a accurate, well-paced throw over the Watropo at first. Kell runs through at full speed, but he is not going to be on that one there. The ground out induced by Garver. Slider, a little bit of a fastball sinker, just keeping the ball in the low and inducing all the ground. So it's 2 away for the Red Sox here, bottom of the first, bottom of the fourth, chasing a 1-run deficit. Garner steps in, and that's going to be a ball one. Sinks a little bit too far out of the zone. That one from Ned Garver's arm. 1-0. No runners in the fourth here as yet for Boston. As that goes to the inside, a little bit higher, but a little bit further. There. Slides away. And it goes 2-0. Turner just getting a little bit more, a bit more options. Certainly the swinger, just check on that one. Check swing takes him to 3-0 in the count. No runners on yet. 3-0 swung hard, goes out left field. Bob Neiman is going to be on the run back to get that one. He's close to the wall. It's going to be a jump up the green, and it's a catch in the air. Bob Neiman gets that one and plucks it off the wall there in the outfield, just halfway down, maybe 350 feet. Neiman running in to get that one, and lofting himself up into the air at just the right time for the contact made. So that is a 3-up. The read down. Ed Garber just nodding out to his outfield for the efforts there. So that's 0 across, no runs, no hits, none left on base for the Red Sox. No errors charged to the Tigers, and they preserve that 1-run lead as we head to the top of the 5th. When you need to hear clearly, you need the best. When you need the best, you need to play it on a piper. No matter if it's jazz, swing or big band, you need the best. You need to play it on a piper. The latest wireless radio models are at the Boston Piper showroom on 57 Main Street. Kaline, Ed Garber, and then back to the top of the order for Harvey Kuenn is going to be a 1-2-3 as we head into the 5th here at Fenway. 1-run lead held by the Tigers. Tigers win here would mean that it would be impossible for the Red Sox to get a winning record at home for the season. They could crawl back to 500 if they win their last 2 games. That would certainly put the pressure on the team also to hold their head up proudly in the off-season. There we welcome in rookie Kaline into the batter's box once more. Not for one so far with a ground out in the 2nd, and we are going to open up there with a called first strike. It's almost like everybody just needs to remind himself of Hudson's delivery. As I said, as a sidearm thrower, changed his entire mechanics of the batting a couple of years back when the fastball just wasn't really working for him. As that one is going to be fouled off by Kaline down the 3rd base line, takes us to 0-2. So that sidearm delivery means getting it to the right side and inside on Kaline, who's also right-handed. That's the sort of sweet spot for your sidearmer in Hudson. A little bit of a speed on there, and tend to get a lot of ground balls. There's another one fouled off as it slaps along the ground down 3rd base there. And just a little bit too eager to swing the bat there, 0-2. Step back out of the box, get a little bit of a breath. Put yourself once more, your team's up 1 and you're opening up the 5th, so looking at you to bring the momentum back again. Steps back in. Hudson ready with him with a smart fast pitch there, and that's going to be called a ball. And he just watches that one and gets himself to 1-2. Sinker comes down there from Hudson. Playing with the eye line. You imagine you can see that ball, it sort of sweeps in across your eye line far more than a regular pitcher. There's ball 2. Side on that one there, just slides down to the inside on Kaline's ankles. Ankles equal high, 2-2. Kaline, having been a little bit eager opening up this at-bat, is now calmed down a little bit more. And swinging an appeal up to first. Didn't go. swing awarded, so it's going to be a full count, 3-2. Kaline opening up the top of the 5th here. Tigers up by 1. Contact there, picked up there, straight to Billy Goodman at second base. Dick Garrett throws there on the stretch, foot and glove, foot makes it. And that is going to be out at number 1 for the top of the 5th there. Bang bang play needed there with a pace all around. Young lads of Kaline forcing Goodman to put a bit of heft and trust Garnett's glove. It's going to be in the way in time. Garnett is 6'3" though. It's a much larger zone you can throw into. And I'll be sure that a glove can reach it. Now Garver steps in, it's pitcher for the 3rd time in the game. Garver facing Hudson, who's induced flyout previously, and that's going to be watched for ball 1. Ned Garver occasionally pops up as a pinch hitter as well. He does have the bat and the swing on him. And Boston have turned on to him in late innings just to do some swinging if needed, but now it's on the mound as well for ball 2. Watches that one go past. Hudson there, just watching that ball sort of drift over and down from the low release point. And Garver fouls that one. Bounces towards the end of the first base dugout. So 2-1. And Garver lets that one go past for 3-1. And Hudson just taking his time now. Suddenly goes completely still on the mound. You want a lesson on how to upset rhythm? Here it goes. Pitch comes in, and that's contact made. That is going up into a shallow centre field. Tom Uplett's going to run in on that one. He'd already positioned himself in close, but now makes it it's the distance even more towards the diamond. So that's going to be 2 away. Garver lays that one up into the shallow centre field. 2 away. Back to the top of the order. Tigers 1 run up here. Scored in the 2nd, and we're now in the 5th. Harvey Kuenn, 0 for 2 so far. No fun here. He's actually leading the American League in hits. 209 hits for the year so far. He'd like another one here. Makes contact, but runs that one foul. And manages to pirouette all the way around like a little spinning top at Christmas. Just waves towards the teammates, and if you think they're all going to forget that one when they get to the dugout, yeah, you've been around long enough, haven't you? 0-1, comes down, lets that one go past him. Count goes equal low, 1-1. 2 away so far, 1 run up. Ewan here, top of the order, to see if he can start a little bit more of a rally. We have 2 consecutive hits and run bases once in this game for either team, as contact's made there and it's picked up there. Shortstop grabs that one, bowling in and over to Garner there, throws on the run. Garner doesn't have to move on that one there, and so that there is the side retired in order. Zeros across the board on that one. No runs, no hits, none left on base for the Tigers. No errors charged to the Red Sox. And with that, we're at the halfway point. Detroit Tigers 1, Boston Red Sox 0. Looking around the league so far, no real action. As I said, we're close the end of the season. Most teams are playing game 148 who are on the roster today. The rest day for maybe about half of the teams as they travel out for the Friday games. 6 games to go after this one, both for Detroit and Boston. And then we are going to have Ned Garver coming back in to pitch for the Tigers. Red Sox are going to have Sammy White opening up the batter. Tom Offlet and Milt Bowling will follow up as your 1, 2, 3. Those of you keeping track of the order will see that that's your 6, 7, 8. And everybody's ready sharpish, so Garver just nodding down to Bucha that he's ready. Bucha, as I said, is catching in, giving a Matt Batts a rest day, and picked up its first home run last week. But right now, doesn't want to see any more home runs from the catcher's space. Sammy White steps in, and that's going to be high for ball 1. Garver mixing up the tempos, fast ball there. So trying to establish that low corner. And establishes it there, called strike, 1-1. Started to get the feeling of that in the previous innings, but then sort of lost the contact point there. 1-1 comes down, and that's going to be a bouncing foul ball down the first baseline to take us 1 and 2. You just want to point out that that record of 3 runs in 1 inning that had been happened since 1883. Fun fact, it happened twice in 1883 in the same game. 3 runs for either team here would probably break the game open. Actually, 1-2 comes down, and that's going to give us an equal high count at 2-2. Of course, that 3-run game was against Detroit back in June. Right now, Detroit in the lead by 1. Boston batting in the 5th year at Fenway. And White watches that one go past. It's a high. So 3-2. Solid eye there for catcher, who is batting .271 with 13 home runs. Payoff pitch comes down, and that's going to be hit high. It's going out into the left field. Bob Neiman is going to have to run to the left to get that one. It's just out of reach, and it's going to bounce on the ground for a single for Sammy White, and puts himself up on base here in the bottom of the 5th. Base runner for the Red Sox was Billy Goodman, who managed that in the 3rd. There were 2 outs on the board at that point. Sammy White now. Tying run at first, no outs on the board for the Red Sox. Tom Offlet now steps in. Struck out swinging previously. Now has his teammate up there at first base. Swing and a miss to open up there, so it's going to be 0-1 on Offlet. Over there, throwing in what looked to be a sinker, sort of hovering around the center of the plate. Oh, not one. Not one goes 1-1. Yeah, slides down and inside. 1-1 there. Tom Offlet, also starting out this year at center field. Got the speed on him if he could. Ball 2. Fastball to the outside there. Offlet does have the speed if we can get him on base. He'd prefer him to be out in front so he could do some stealing. Sammy White already managed that on first base, and not looking threatening at all, staying close to the bag. 2-1 goes 3-1. First time DiMaggio made centre field his little home until Umflett came along. Managed to get a couple of games in there and made that spot his own, and that's going to be a good contact. It's going along the ground out to centre field. It's a slow roller. Kaline is going to come in to get that one, but with no pace on the ball, everybody gets to advance. Sammy White takes it up to second base, and tying run goes into scoring position. Tom Umflett, it's the go-ahead run, gets himself onto first base there. No outs so far. Runners at first and second. Boston down by 1. And they've got themselves into promising position here. Mick Bolling comes up as well. Ground out in the second. Not the second, third, sorry. Ground out to open up the third. And he goes foul on that one there. Looking to make something happen straight away. That's not one count. Bit of pace going down left field line. And Garver there. Ball in hand, shakes one off from Boucher. Not happy with that one. Shakes off his second pitch called by his catcher. Tends to stay on the slider and the fastball on the sinker, so it's the other one he wants. Yeah, not there. He's going to take that one. Comes in and it's past Boucher. It runs back to get that one there. Turns around to look and considers the throw up, but no luck on either of those. Sammy Point down to third base already. And Tom Umflett only halfway, maybe within range of the throw up to second. Sammy White sitting there at third base, stops the throw up. So while pitch advances the runners to give us 2 into scoring position. Sammy White at third, Tom Umflett at second. White is the tying, Umflett is the go-ahead. Going there on a 1-1. Needs to get this one in. No outs so far. I think there's a lot of options he can play with here. And 1-1 is going to be high down the first base line. It's going to be left to go foul on that one. Not happy with that one, the crowd there. So 1-2. Bolling does have a good glove on him, but shortstop position is very much a defensive position, and he's strong there, and that most of the time makes up for the weak arm that he's got. 1-2 comes down, and that's going to be watched for a ball. Right arm at shortstop, not necessarily as good in the batter's box. 269 for the season, probably belies what he's got there. 5 home runs, 30 RBIs. He's there as a really good shortstop and can just about hold his own, but when you've got 2 in scoring position and you're down by 1, do want to have a little bit of lets that one go past for 3-2. You've got the plate discipline, but that means when you do get the pitch coming down, you've got to make good contact. You've got to get the swinging underneath. And Bolling has the option to do that. 3-2 comes down there, hit high, it's going fly, it's very high in the air. It might just sneak out of the infield. It does, but only barely, and that's going to be caught just beyond second base, just into the grass here at Fenway. So Milt Bolling there, first out of the inning. Fly ball out to a shallow centre field. So shallow, Tom Umflett at second base is just like, nah, I've still got my foot on the bag. You can look, but you can't touch me. Sammy White. Well, the throw to home is always going to be easy if you decide to take off after that one. So it's pitcher now. 2 runners on, 1 away, 1 run back. In the fifth here is Sid Hudson faces Ned Garver. Line drive straight into the glove of Fred Hatfield at second base previously. And that's going to be ball 1. Goes low to the outside this time. However, changing his mind. Doesn't think he's going to be getting the inside low call, so just trying the other corner. In this inning, it's not giving him any luck either. 3 balls on everybody. So far. And that's going to be fouled off there. It was a fast ball coming in really high on that one, so it's underneath and popped and rolls back over the netting into the stands behind us here. So it's 1-1. Count is equal low. And that's going to be called strike 2. Count is 1-2. And 2 for Sid Hudson, pitcher facing Ned Garver. Garver pitching for the Tigers. Hudson just taking a moment to gather himself. Batting for the Red Sox. Steps back in. 1-2 comes down, and that's going to be hit high. It's going to go in the left field. Neiman picks that one up on the run and right, throws that one in. Fred Hatfield gathers it for the force out at second, and that's 2 away on the double. And no runs scored either. Sammy White not able to take any lead on that one. So left out there. No runs scored by the Red Sox there in the bottom of the 5th, coming off 2 hits as well. Sammy White there left out on base. No errors charged to the Tigers on that one. Sid Hudson lofting that one out into left field. And getting the not actually a force is second off, just not able to get back in time on that one, taking up a lead. First base is open. Open your eyes. And there's the DP there. On a 7-4 side retired, so we are top of the 6th. It is going to be Hatfield, Boone and Neiman for the Tigers, and they still have that 1-run lead from the solitary run that opened up the 2nd inning. When you need to hear clearly, you need the best. When you need the best, you need to play it on a piper. No matter if it's jazz, swing or big band, you need the best. You need to play it on a piper. The latest wireless radio models are at the Boston Piper showroom on 57 Main Street. Heading into the 6th, and we are going to have Fred Hatfield opening up the batting for the Detroit Tigers, and we're going to have Sid Hudson continuing to pitch for the Red Sox. Tigers up by 1, and be looking to extend that lead. 1 run is very, very little in the game here. 1 swing with 1 runner on, and you're off to the races. And we are opening up with a called strike 1 on Fred Hatfield. He's not 2 for the game so far. Sid Hudson with his sidearm. Just getting a little bit more definition and understanding the zone of our home plate umpire, Bill McKinley. Ball 1. Going to equal low, 1-1. Still trying to work both pitchers really trying to work the inside low corner, and that's going to be a bit of a fast ball there, going to the outside for a ball, so 2-1. Hatfield is a ground out. Both Pierces so far, in fact, he's just hit it straight back to Hudson, who's got a horrific error net to a ball 3 is a fastball to the outside again. 3-1. So Hatfield would really like to get it all past Sid Hudson and get some action in the outfield to get on base. 3-1 comes down. fouls that one off. 3-2. Goes down right field line, relatively high on that one as well, getting underneath. Could potentially be another fastball going to the outside on that one. Sid Hansen now just sort of questioning Hatfield, think I'm going to put it there again or not. Hatfield now just have to make his decision as it comes in fast. 3-2 comes down, payoff comes in, and that's going to be to the outside with a fastball, and that allows it to drop itself high over the peak. Tom Outlet underneath that one, and catching that out there in centre outfield. Relatively easy on that one. One away. In the sixth, Tigers up by 1. Ray Boone steps in now. 1 for 2 games so far, getting a single in the first inning, but Tigers not able to capitalise on that, and he lost up with 3 up, 3 down, third inning as well. Second batter face here in the top of the 6th, fouled off there to get underway for his third at bat of the game. Not on 1 on Ray Boone. And just takes another swing to go foul on that one. Not in 2. Comes to the inside on that one, and Rayburn deciding he's going to attack that one. Not 2 comes down, and that's going to be a hit that's going out to the outfield as well. Down the line to Mitt Balling past underneath there. And Ted Williams is going to just take that one up and do a relay throw in. Billy Goodman intercepting that at second, but Ray Boone already past first base on the run. Gives himself the second hit of the game, 2 for 3 so far. 1 away here in the top of the 6th, 1 run scored in the second for the Detroit Tigers. That's the only run the home plate has seen. So they go further ahead run. Strawberries and cream, as we would say back home. They're at first base, and that's going to be ball 1. Bob Neiman 0 for 2 so far. Runner up at first as we get a called strike 1 to the count, equal low. Ray Boone up there at first base. Second time there in the game, and he's not been able to advance any further. In fact, only one of the Tigers players has reached beyond first base, and that was Walt Droppo, who did a 270-foot run to get that solitary run in so far. And that's fouled off to take us to 1-2. Bob Neiman running that one high. Taking a moment there, steps back, takes the glove, taps the shoes, steps back in. It's 1-2 count. Teammate Ray Boone is over there at first, 1 away so far here in the top of the 6th. Smart hit there, goes over, picked up there. Mitt Balling underarm, Drake Goodman, 1 away down to Dick Garrett at first base, 2 away, double play. Side retired on that one as well. Bob Neiman offering a ground ball up to shortstop there, picked that one over. Being relayed in, Billy Goodman then getting the foresight on Boone at second before the relay throw down to Dick Garner at first. And now with that double play on the ground, side is retired. So it's a 6-4-3 on Bob Neiman and a 6-4 on Ray Boone for those of you who are keeping track of these things at home. And I know many of you do, and I thank you for all your letters that you send in. We've got the new fancy telegram system in as well. Or if you told your telegram operator, we'll find how to get to it. If you head to classicbaseball.neocities.org, and you will find us there. Okay, midway through the 6th here, we can have a little look at some of the other games around the country. 3 more day games going on now. We've got the scores through fine for those. Athletics at Cubs Athletics have put on 5 to take them to 9. Cubs have put on 3 to take them off the market. 3-9-3 game there through 5. Similarly, Browns up there at the Bronx and the Yankees, they put on 4, so it's a 5-1 to the Browns. And just a really, really strong throw there. Dodgers haven't added anything, and neither of the Cards, so it's still a 1-3 game there in St. Louis. We are to the top of the order now for the Red Sox as they go into the bottom of the 6th. Just the 1-run deficit they're chasing there. It's going to be Goodman, Piersall and Williams opening up once more. Ned Garver back on the bump to pitch for the Tigers. And opening up 6 innings, Billy Goodman, 1 for 2 games so far, with a double in the 3rd, is going to be facing Goodman and Garver. Garver pitches down, and that's going to be straight into the glove for ball 1. Goodman brings himself ahead in the count. Lets that one go past. Garver takes that 1 ball back, and it's a fast pitch down, but it is still looking at that inside corner and not getting the call. So ball 2, 2-0. Goodman waiting for the moment here. 2-0, 2-1. Declines a swing on that one there. Fastball just to the outside as well. Goodman in the right hand side, batting left-handed. 2-1 comes down. Smart, strong headline drive. That's going to be base hit going down right field there. Bud Suchok having a slight jog in to get there. And no need to go any further than that one. So double in the 3rd, joined by a single now in the 6th for Billy Goodman, and it's the opening batter, becomes the opening base runner as Jim Piersall steps in once more. This time Piersall and his teammate on base. He was 2 away, no outs on the board so far for the Red Sox. 1 run back here in the bottom of the 6th. Piersall shows bunt, Garver delivers and gives him that one there. Piersall gets for the bunt, running up to first base. Garver runs in, picks it over, throws it up. Hatfield picks that up on the turn there. But it is a run out at first on Piersall, but not before Goodman gets himself up to 2nd on the sacrifice. So we got yourself a sac bunt. Sac bunt 1-4. Fun one there. So it's 1 away, but tying run climbs back up into scoring position. Ted Williams behind you as well after the sac bunt. So 1 away, runner at 2nd. Williams stepping into bat. Careful eye, he's not going to swing until he's confident that there's going to be not just contact but good contact. Lets that one go past for ball 1. Williams just keeping eye on the sun as it starts to move round, and that's going to be ball 2. Lands back to Billy Goodman as well, and Garver just looking to keep the tying run honest up there at 2nd. We've got 10-15 foot lead being taken. Williams hits that one there, and it's going to go foul. Everybody calm down. He calmed down. It's going down 3rd base line towards the monster, but just a little bit early to the ball there. 2-1. 2-1. It was 3-1. Ned Garver still desperately trying to find that inside corner. The impact is coming off a fastball that's just sinking on the outside, and that's catching enough to get the outground balls going through. They'll be happy with that in one certain sense, as Williams watches that one go past for a cold strike 2. Takes account full, 3-2. 3-2, one away, one run back. Time run is up at second for the Red Sox. 3-2, payoff comes down, and that's going to be hit high, and it's going to be foul right above the plate. Tony Bucha catcher takes one step, two steps, and catches the ball there. So, caught on the pop-up, arguably in foul territory. You know what, you'll take the out whether it's in foul territory or not. So, George Cal, it's a few less tactical options now, two away with a runner on second. Cal, almost as strong a bat as Williams, and lets that one go past, and it's going to be called first strike. The inside low that Garver's been looking for with his slider. Given that one, so not one. Goes to the outside fast and is well outside, so 1-1. And equals up, two away, runner at second. Bottom of the sixth with the Tigers looking to preserve that one-run lead. 1-1 comes down, and it's straight to the shortstop. Oh, Harvey Kuenn just grabs that as it heads for the chest. Line drive caught sharply by the shortstop, and with that the side retired. A strong opening there from Billy Goodman to get a one hit on the board, and then bunted over to second. And nothing else coming from that one there. One hit, no runs. One left on base, no errors charged to the Tigers defense either. So through six, kept a clean sheet. 3 innings to go to preserve that 1-1 lead and maybe put some more on it if at all possible. And that will give the Tigers, with 5 to go, and almost guaranteed in 6th place in the American if they can hold on to the lead. When you need to hear clearly, you need the best. When you need the best, you need to play it on a piper. No matter if it's jazz, swing or big band, you need the best. You need to play it on a piper. The latest wireless radio models are at the Boston Piper showroom on 57 Main Street. Into 7. And it is Walt Dropo, Bud Suchuk and Johnny Bucha who are going to be batting for the Tigers, ahead by 1 run, and they are continuing to face Sid Hudson. 4 hits on the board so far, just the 5th inning. It's a 3 up, 3 down. So Tigers getting a little bit of action. This is similar though to Red Sox, who've 5 hits so far as well. Both teams just looking for a little bit of a break to give them that. At the moment, just that Walt Dropo single followed by the RBI double from Bud Suchuk is the only difference, and Dropo is now stepping in now and watches ball 1 there as Hudson. There's a little bit of a curve down, a little bit too much of a curve on it. It's 1-0. And it's ball 2. Slides out into that corner. You've got to think that Bill McKinley is just keeping a really, really tight zone today. Neither pitcher hitting anything low and inside. And Dropo fouls that one off. He's got space in the count to do that, 2-1. And you're going to get a called strike 2. Called strike 2. Around the letters and on the inside. What if Hudson's just trying to work out if it's the height or the side that's getting in now? Counts equal high. And Dropo lets that one go past. On the inside, it's ball 3. So Count is full, going to get some action. 3-2, comes in, low and ball 4. Hudson just not getting anything lined up. I mean, I think it said something actually that it's the first walk, so getting the ground outs is needed. What a single strikeout on the board so far for Hudson through 7. And now we've got a runner at first. The Strawberries and Cream up by 1. Pitchwood up by 2, but Suchik steps in, 2 for 2 game so far. And that's going to be called strike 1. So not one comes through. And it's going to be a called strike 2. 0-2. Zuchok looking to build on previously. A double, giving him an RBI. 0-2 comes down. And that's going to be head picked up there out at second base. Billy Goodman runs that underneath as Bolling gets that and gets a force out at second there. So it's 1 away. Zuchok's going to be there in a fielder's choice. Up at first. And Waldropo's potential jump to second is taken out the way on a 4-6. So 1 away. And a runner up at first. We've got a lot of ones there, so it's 1 away. Runner at first, 1-run lead. Johnny Butcher stepping in. Running 227 and 1 home run. She put up on the board against the Athletics last week. Right now though, flying out to centre field both times. Umflett's been able to get underneath that one as well. And that's going to be fouled high. Up and over into the stands down the first base line. 0-1. And called strike 2. 0-2. Should just needs to just calm down just a little bit. Gonna just the 1 away, the runner up on first. You've got options. You just need to get that one either in play or let that one go past ball 1. Good eye. 1 and 2. You just need to get this one bouncing in the outfield. Teammate moved over as well if you can. Suchok taking a little bit of a lead. And the 1 and 2 is going to be a swinging 2-2 coming down. Smart hit. Grindberg goes over. Shortstop. Mick Bolling takes that one over to first base. Dick Garner takes that one. Regulation 6-3. Get that one comfortable. But Suchok advances up to second on it, but it's 2 outs. Taking the easy out there. Red Sox defense. And we welcome Kaline back in now. 2 away. Teammate up there on second. And watches that one. Goes past to the inside as ball 1. So I don't know what Hudson's thinking, but I'm thinking that it's the inside line that McKinley is incredibly tight on. Surprising to see Hudson go ball 1 low under the zone. I'm going to say there, is it the left and right? Although that was well underneath, so we'll just see where that goes next. Ball 3 goes to the inside. Everybody just sort of McKinley step back from the plate for a second just to have a quiet word. Sammy White catches, just wanting a quiet word with the umpire there. I think he's just trying to just understand what's going on with the calls. Kinley's just literally just waving his arm low underneath. White, gonna push it too much. A little bit of frustration keeping into the Hudson-White pairing for the Red Sox. It's a 3-0. Kaline steps in to take the 3-0 from Hudson, and that's lofted up. That's going to be staying at the infield. Nick Bolling comes in from shortstop to catch that one there, which he does there. Side retired on a fly ball out to shortstop. So open up with a walk going up to first, but then a fielder's choice. Kept just one runner at first before an out was picked up by ground out and fly ball afterwards. So no runs, no hits, but one left on base there for the Tigers. No errors charged to the Red Sox either, as we take our chance to go for a little bit of a stretch here in the Sept. And we pause now for station identification. You're listening to Classic Baseball Radio on KCBR, classicbaseball.neocity.org. Bottom of the seventh, the Boston Red Sox still down by that solitary run scored in the second. Dick Garner, Sammy White and Tom Alford are going to be your 1-2-3 to try and cut down that gap. Ned Garber stays on the bump, pitching for the Detroit Tigers. Dick Garner will open up the bottom of the seventh for the Boston Red Sox. 6'3", 210 pounds, power in the arms, 20 home runs for the season so far. Swings hefty there, but it's going to be strike one as it goes foul high and into the third base stands. 0-1 so far. And the ball popped out by McKinley, who, well, keeping everything close and tight over the zone, turning this very much into how many ground balls can you get as a pitcher, and the answer is quite a lot of them, as we get ball one, goes to the outside, that one there, so count is equal low. Nick Garner batting, facing Ned Garber, pitching. Bottom of the seventh, Red Sox chasing a one-run lead. 1-1 comes down, and that's going to be hit over the third base, picked up there, thrown over. Ray Boone blunted over the diamond to drop out in time there, and there is the first out. Sammy White steps in now, 1-for-2 game. Singled in the fifth, managed to work around to third base, due in part to a wall pitch, but not advancing any further from there. This year's All-Star is going to see the first pitch for the third plate appearance, and lets it go past for ball one. Zone still not comfortable for either of our pitchers, and it comes down as ball two. Side still not being given. Slider is just, normally you would have that being awarded, but everybody's just going, come on, look at the score, are you going to open it up? You'd expect Zone to open up a little bit of this game so far, but nothing coming through. Sammy White facing a 2-0. One out so far, so he's got some there. We go lofted up high there for the Tigers, out to centre field. Kaline is going to be taking that one, takes a few steps to the right and takes that one into the glove. 2 away. Kaline comfortably commanding centre field on that one. Getting the ball out. A little shimmy and step to the side, ball in the glove. 2 away. So one flit steps in now. Struck out first, single, second, out the third appearance. And gets another ball on the board. Garver still insisting on trying to do the inside. Knee entry, probably just not letting him put too much more power in. The fastball sinker is there, but not as much into the mix as you would normally expect. And ball 2. That one there. And going low, out of the zone. So Monflet steps in for the 2-0. Hits that one grounder, that is going to go into the 2 shortstop. Harvey Kuenn picks that one, throws over to Walt Dropo, and it's wide. It's wide and into the dirt behind first base, so Tom Monflet waves to the crowd. Actually, no, I think he's just acknowledging Dropo there, having to come off the bag to try and get a wild throw from Harvey Kuenn. It's short, but couldn't get off the bag far enough that one, so that's going to be a reach on error, and even if it was on, Dropo could get his glove underneath that one, he was going to be foot off the bag anyway. So Tom Monflet reaches. 2 away, runner on first. No bowling stepping in now for the Tigers. Taking the count full before a ground out and a fly out in his previous 2 appearances. 2 away so far. Swings at that one and sends it foul. Bounces around third base line and sort of trying to reach the dugout but not getting there. Stalls out in the ground. Not one. Red Sox down by 1. 2 outs already in the 7th. Bolton takes the 0-1 and sends that down the line to third base. Ray Boone is picking that one up, throws over to Dropo. Dropo catches it there in time. This time it's on target and the foot's on the bag, so that there is the ground out in the 3rd out of the inning. 1 left on base, no runs though, no hits. 1 error charged to Detroit though. And side retired on that one. So through 7, Tigers up by 1. Continues to be a close and nervy game. Whichever pitcher can understand Bill McKinley's strike zone is probably going to be the one that can close out the game, but they are going to need the respective defences to do something. Tigers just to make everything feel a little bit more comfortable. Red Sox to get on the board. It's going to be a 9-1-2 for the Tigers. Harvey Kuenn and Fred Hatfield will follow pitcher Ned Garver into there. So it's Garver, Kuenn, Hatfield there. So we are ready to go into the 8th. When you need to hear clearly, you need the best. When you need the best, you need to play it on a piper. No matter if it's jazz, swing or big band, you need the best. You need to play it on a piper. The latest wireless radio models are the Boston Piper showroom on 57 Main Street. Into the 8th we go. Tigers looking to keep a 1-run lead and pretty much guarantee themselves 6th in the American. Red Sox doing their best to not get into a losing record at home here for the 1953 season. We'll be playing for positions and passion now, apart from the Yankees and the Dodgers, who have another big game at the end of the month as the World Series comes around. Okay, Ned Garver steps into the box for the visiting Detroit Tigers with a 1-run lead, and Sid Hudson is going to stay pitching for the Boston Red Sox into the 8th. And we open up there with Ball one. Ned Garver lets that one go past as we get our fifth picture matchup of the game, and the third for Ned Garver, who's 0-2 so far for the action. Fouls the 1-0. This is 2 equal low. And it's going to be ball 2 as that one comes down for 2-1. Garver, in his time, been known to bring in the RBIs with the occasionally well-placed bunt, but as a lead-off batter here, there's much to deal with. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It does like his slap doubles down the left-hand line. Some speed and distance on there, but that is going to need to make contact with a low ball with a fair amount of pace on it if possible, which is the 2-2 go past for 3-2. Listeners, my count is full. It's 3-2. Ned Garver looking to get the Tigers further ahead in this game if possible. Payoff comes down, and that's going to be a fly high, so straight down into second base, and there's a Billy Goodwin in between the ground and the ball to catch that one there. Line ball out second base, and 1 away. It's back to the top of the order for the Tigers, Harvey Kuenn, but it's not 3 games so far, still to make good contact with the ball. Behind him it's going to be Fred Hatfield on deck, who's 0-3 and is struggling to make good contact with the ball. So this part of the lineup at the top, Sid Hudson and his defence behind him, got there pretty much card marked. And swing and a miss there on strike 1. 0-1 on Kuenn for that hit. Might as well call this game very much tied, 0-1. And just 5 outs left for the Tigers, 6 for the Red Sox. And swing and fouled off there. As we go 0-2. Ewan just taking a moment, and there's the raised hand to the pitcher, drops it onto the barrel of the bat. Hudson ready to throw in the 0-2, and contact made there, and it's going to be comfortable for Matt Mullen to pick that one up. Takes the moment over to Dick Garner at first base, and there we are, 2 away. Fred Hatfield steps in now, also 0-3. Detroit Tigers up by 1 here in the 8th, 2 away though. Tigers needing a little bit more breathing room. You look at who's coming up for the Red Sox, Hudson, Goodwin and Piersall. So again a 9-1-2 is Hatfield watches that one go foul after he's got the back contact. 0-1. Not only knows the Fenway dimensions, but he'll have played with many of these players before, so those players are going to know his book there as well. As that's going to be called strike 2, 0-2. 2 away so far. Tigers only getting that run in the second. They've had a little bit of action out at first base. 1 runner up at second so far in the game, but really that's not getting anything in apart from 2 strong hits, and that goes over there straight to the shortstop mid-ball. He takes that one there straight into the glove. Doesn't need any more help with that one, thank you very much. 3rd out. Let my glove do all the work. So it's 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, none left on base, no errors charged to the Boston defense. And with that, the Red Sox now have a chance in the bottom of the 8th. Well, they've had chances all over to make up this 1-run deficit. They've been behind since the 2nd inning. It's looking down. We don't have Sid Hudson warming up. We've got Del Wilbur coming in to pinch hit, so that's going to be it for Hudson's pitching. Can we get a hold of the line? Let's have a little look. 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, which was earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts for Hudson on that one there, letting the defence do all of that. So we'll see who's going to be in to pitch for the Red Sox. I suspect we're going to get the old head of Ellis Kinder coming through there. But right now it is going to be Del Wilbur, Billy Goodman and Jim Piersall for the Red Sox. Del Wilbur pinch hitting here and will be facing the Detroit Tigers' Ed Garver. And just Wilbur getting a feel of that one and watches that one go past. He'll take strike 1 on that one just so you can get a little feel of what Garver's throwing. Last ball coming through there for Garver. 0-1 and fouled off fast and hard down the first base line. Ball's behind and behind further, so it's 0-2 on Wilbur. And that's going to be ball 1. I said to you it's inside and low. And do you think it was going to be called a ball right now? You know McKinley's going to say yes, so he's certainly keeping that tight. 1-2. Inside and getting the ball again, and really like to move around from the booth and get a better look at just where that's coming through. But Butcher just shaking the head again. Leaf catcher giving Matt Batch the day off. I wonder if he's just not getting the positioning right. Just working Garver to get that ball over and putting it all on the umpire's head. It's certainly trying to look that way. As count goes full, 3-2. Wilbur's batting .271 with 7 home runs for the season. So you're going to think he's going to want to do something here. Payoff comes down, 3-2. That's hit. It's hit high going out to left field. Neiman is going to be fast over to that one. It's a little bit flatter than it first looked actually, but Neiman picks that one up as he runs into the center field and carries on the run. High fives to Kaline. And throws the ball round the horn, gives everybody just a reminder. Kaline gets that one, Suchuk gets that one down to first base. A drop where everybody keeping their arms nicely warmed up in the Tigers outfield. So it's back to the top of the order for the Red Sox. Billy Goodman is 2 for 3 so far, double in the third, single in the sixth. Managed to visit second base both times, but no further than that one. Stepping in not just 2 for 3, but 310 for the season as well. And called first strike. That one there. Just going to the outside there on Garver. Ball working the action and taking it there. Swing, nope, check swing. Ball 1. So it's going to be a 1-1. Jim Piersall in the on deck, warming up, hoping he's going to be in with the tying run up to first and second. If not, having made it over a yard, 1-1 comes down, and that's going to be hit high. It's going over to the left field there. Neiman's let Kaline take that one, so Kaline is going to take that one there. Both of them starting to run towards the spot. And Kaline getting the opportunity this time. So 2 away, bottom of the 8th. Boston Red Sox down by 1. In Harvey 9th if it stays this way. Jim Piersall in now. Sack bunt pushed Billy Goodman over to second in the 6th, but Goodman's just flew out, so the bases are empty with 2 away. Tight opportunity for Piersall, but he's going to need to find something. Fouls that one off. For not one going through there. Piersall is the club record this year, back in June, putting 6 hits on the board over 9 innings. Not going to be close here, 0 for 3 so far, even if you count that sacrifice bunt. And he's going to let that one go past for strike 2. Called on him, not in 2. Ted Williams in the on deck. Everybody in Boston would like Williams to be in here. Found his form. He's one of the few Boston players who do that. Not in 2 comes down, and that's going to be a line drive. It's going to be a base hit down the centre. Just sneaks past the left of the second bag. Harvey Kuenn shortstop. And just covering that, Kaline backing up as well. So it's line drive. So Piersall on base. 2 away. Tying run at first. Go ahead run. Steps in at the bottom of the 8th. It's that man again, Ted Williams. If you wanted to write the script for this one, and this is what you'd want. Your ace with the eyes. Back from his call up to serve in Korea. Came back to Boston. And it's going to be ball 1. Came back to Boston, and his eye for waiting for the pitch that he wants still intact. Country thanks Ted Williams for his service. And it's going to be called strike 1. Now Boston is going to be calling on Ted Williams. He's not for 3 so far, but has drawn 2 full counts in the 4th and the 6th. Watches that one go for called strike 2, 1 and 2. And Garver's still trying to work out that slide into the inside low zone. First knows if he throws that one again. There it is, 1-2 comes in, contact's made, it is high, it is long, it is Ted Williams gone! Home run, put 2 on the board. Piersall was already on the run, and he's getting that 270 feet there as Ted Williams just waves to the crowd as it goes by. It is home run number 13 for the season. It's another RBI going in there as well, taking him into 31 on the shortened season starting back in June. And he's going to drop just slightly below 400 on that one, but there you go. Boston takes the lead off that one, off the bat of Ted Williams. How many times have I said that? Ned Garver drops in the slider. It's not been getting good calls from our home plate umpire for the whole game, but no need to worry about the umpire call for Red Sox. That one, Williams getting under, getting the height, getting the distance, and over it goes. Piersall and Williams making that home. It's a 2-1 game, and with that, the Red Sox have taken the lead. George Kell steps in now. 2 away. Everybody just coming down a little bit there. George Kell. Shows bunt, he rolls down the third base line and dies quietly. He's on the sprint over, and Kell is going to make it onto base on time. So it's another base runner for Boston, coming off a bunt on a not there. Dick Garner's going to be in now. 2 outs there at this point. 3 hits in a row for the Red Sox. Passive lit up by Piersall, Williams and Kell. A hit, and a hit. Dick Garnett is going to step in here and watches ball 1. Goes low. Ed Garver's insisted on trying to get this right. With the knee injury though, he's not got a huge amount of trust in his fastball, and he's not getting any of the pitching working on this one. Fence has been rock solid through 7, but a single Down the line to centre field from Jim Piersall. Has opened everything up as the 1-0 goes 2-0. Low again. I think Garnett's got the power on him. You've got to fancy. He'd like to do a hefty swing here if he can get the pitch. Not got it yet. It's ball 3-0. Normally I'd say he's got a little bit of space here, and he's got a teammate up there at first, and 2 outs so far here in the bottom of the 8th. If you're just joining us, Boston put 2 on the board and have snuck into the lead here at this point as the 3-0 comes down, and it's going to be ball 4. First walk issued by Ned Garver. Now with that, George Kell moves up into scoring position. 2 runners on at first and second. Boston put 2 on the board here so far. Sammy White steps in now. 1-3 for the game. And lets that one go outside low. 1-0. Sinker there just going outside. Kinley just not expanding the zone, letting it sit there. He's certainly had it consistent throughout the game. And that's going to be ball 2. $2,200 fans in here, witnessing one more home run for Ted Williams. There's a one to take away with them. There's not much else in the game so far, but they'll be looking for the victory. As a ball comes down there, and it's a wild pitch. It bounces in front of the dirt there, and goes past Boucha, who sprints back and catches that after about 15 feet running away, but not before Cal links it over the third, and Garner up to second, 2 into scoring position on that wild pitch. So it's a 3-0 count. Sammy White, 2 away for Boston, though, but he's got runners at second and third. Tom Umflett is on deck. 1 for 2 so far. 3-0, and it's going to be another walk. Well, no walks through 7, 2 walks in the 8th, and that loads up the bases. Tom Umflett steps in now. A lot of weight is going to be going on to this rookie's shoulders. Kell at third, Garnett at second, White at first. Tom Umflett's the 1 for 2 games. Ingold in the 5th. Reached on error, a poor throw from Harvey Kuenn at short in the 7th. He's got speed if he gets on bases. He's got the batting strength as well. Ball 1, he's going to let that one go past. 282 for the season. 3 home run count is low, but it's the 56 RBI count that we're going to be looking at as well. 1-2 swing and a miss there. Count goes low. Ball 1-1. 2 away for Boston so far, but they have put 2 on the board this inning to give them 2 runs to 1. And that's going to be watched. Umflett lets that one go past, goes ahead in the count. 2-1. Umflett just a little bit bouncing on the feet there. 2-1 comes down, and that's going to hit now. That's going to go foul, everybody. It's going to go foul. Can't go equal high. 2-2. Umflett looking for this one. The 8th batter that Ned Garver has faced in the inning. Counts equal high. 2-2 comes down, and that's hit there. He's going to picked up. Rayboon throws over fast. Henry Kuenn first out at second. Run is not in time, and that there is side retired, and it's a hit there, lying on the ground, picked up by Not Harvey Kuenn, actually. Rayburn stepping in from third, throwing that sharp and fast over to Fred Hatfield to get the force out at second, and at that point everybody's eyes turned round. Ed Cal made it home in time, not before the out was called. So it's going to be a fielder's choice to reach for Tom Umflett, but he's going to be left on base. But that was the inning that the Red Sox have been looking for since pretty much the start of the game. 3 hits and 2 walks, ending up with 2 runs. No errors charged to the Tigers, but 3 left on base. But nevertheless, the damage was done by, of all things, of all familiarities, Ted Williams' arm. Sends the home run and now gives the Red Sox a chance to pitch out the game. And so we head into the 9th here. And with Sid Hudson being replaced by a pinch hitter, we are going to welcome in, as expected, Ellis Kinder, 39-year-old veteran. 3 outs to find. Nothing left in the game to play with. 2 runs to the Red Sox here at home, looking to try and get themselves up to 500 for their home record. It's 36-37 at the moment. Tigers visiting, looking to solidify their place 6th in the American League. They've got 3 outs to do that if at all possible. Kinder coming in. That's right-handed, and he is going to be facing Ray Boone, Bob Neiman, and Walt Dropo from the Detroit Tigers. Ray Boone is going to be first in here. It's a 2 for 3 game so far, so the swing is there. And we are going up with ball 1 as Kinder flies that one in fast and high. Ray Boone happy to see that, and have a look at what we're expecting there from Kinder. As that goes ball 2, and it goes to the outside and low. 1-1. Kinder likes to vary the speed on the pitches. There's a little bit of a change up that will head to the outside as a 1-1 comes down, and that's going to be fouled. Down 1 and 2. We're quite happy with that one there. 1 and 2. Pitch comes down, and sure what's going on. Yeah. Ted Williams is picking up a ball that had been thrown out onto the field, and we're just getting Kinley stepping out on that one there. He's got it. Hold on, what's he holding up? Okay, right, so he's nulling that play, so he's holding up, so we're back to a 1-2 count. Someone gets Ted Williams' autograph on a ball, but seems to clearing the field, but not before the pitch action are already started. So 1 and 2 comes down on that one, and that's going to be ball 2. So count goes equal high, 2-2. Ray Boone. It's top of the 9th here. Detroit Tigers visiting Fenway, and the Boston Red Sox down by 1 run. 3 outs to try and find that. 2-2 comes down, and that is going to be ball 3. So the count goes full. Ray Boone, 3 and 2. Looking around. Nobody on base as yet. 3 outs to find 1 run to take it to the bottom of the 9th as that comes in for the 3-2, and that's going to be hit high center field. Tom Umflett takes 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, catches, and there is 1 away in the fly out to center field. 2 outs left for Ellis Kinder to walk this game away. Bob Neiman steps in. So 0 for 3 so far. 65 RBI, 15 home runs, 290 for the season so far, but not getting any action so far as he fouls that one there off and over the netting into the bat. Not and 1. Kinder straight into the wind-up. Kinder as he throws that one down for 1 though, just fast pitching there, but not in time. Just a little shake of the head there. I think he's just pitching too fast there from McKinley. And Kinder just taking a moment there. It's the 1-1, comes down, and it's going to be ball 2 as that one goes fast and underneath the zone there. McKinley keeping that zone nice and tight, so that is going to be 2-1 on the count. 2-1 comes down. It's 3-1 on the count now after that one, as that one's called low as well, so it's going to be a 3-1. 3-1, 1 out, 1 away, 1 run behind. 3-1 comes down, and that is going to be hit high. It's going into right field. Jim Piersall's indicating he's going to get it. He's having to take a step back to the wall or two. There's the jump up high on the edge of the wall, takes that out of the air. Out number 2. He was confident he had that all along, but he had to work hard for that. It's catching just a little bit of the wind, I think. It's just sneaking over, but a safe pair of hands out there. Wouldn't surprise that one, Neiman known for the bat, but happily taking that deep right field ball. And with that, there is just 1 out remaining. Trouble steps in, 246, so it's not brilliant, but it's got the chance here. Kinder just I don't know, is a sportsman like to have the crowd sort of lined up? Well, 2,000 that are here are on their feet as well as that comes in, not 2, and that's going to be fouled off there, so it's not 1 on the count here. Detroit Tigers needing 1 run, but they've only got 1 out left to find that here in the top of the 9th. Boston ahead by 2 off the Ted Williams arm as that ball comes in. It's a pitch coming in, and it's going to be called strike 2. That goes, it looked like the inside. Kinley either working it out, or Kinder's just been smart and taking that as the first ball. So it's a not 2 count on Walt Dropple, 1 out to find, and it will be game, and it's going to be, Doug comes in there, hits that high, it's going out towards Jim Piersall again. Jim Piersall jogging inside, takes the ball, keeps the jogging. There you go, that's your final out, that's your inning, that's your ball game. And another fly ball out to right field there. Kinder getting them all induced, out to centre, out to deep right, out to right again. 3 up, 3 down, and that is, well, a scrappy game all round, and it ended up, of course, with Boston taking the home record out of 37 with 2 games left to go. So the chance of keeping the victory record here at Fenway is still alive. Detroit, well, they're going to fall back a little bit more in the league. We've got the athletic score. The athletic score will just get through for them. Oh, right, okay, so Philadelphia Athletics 16, Chicago Cubs 4. So Philadelphia making up a game on Detroit, 2 to play there with, what's that, 148, 6 games to go in the season as both Detroit and Philadelphia look to fight over 6th place in the order. Other games are taking place today. During the day, St. Louis Browns 7, New York Yankees 1, Brooklyn Dodgers 4, St. Louis Cardinals 3. Tune in later tonight as we will have the White Sox Washington game, and we will keep an eye on the Cleveland Phillies game into the bargain as well. So Detroit got themselves on the board in the top of the 2nd with a single run, and after that it was just the pitchers versus the umpires. Sid Hudson and Nat Garber never finding the zone, but letting their outfield defenses do all the work out there on that. Detroit Tigers 5 hits in totals, 1 error charged, and just that solitary run in the 2nd against that. And Boston Red Sox finding 8 hits, and one of those coming from the Ted Williams arm for a home run that gave the 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th that sealed the victory here in front of a 2,272 crowd at Fenway. I'm Ewan Spence. We'll take a little bit of music now and then we will head to the slightly delayed news here on KCBR. Thanks very much for listening, and we will take a little burst of Bird and Diz, and after that we'll get you up to date with everything that's happening in your local area. Ta-ra for now.
The Boston Red Sox would split the upcoming two-game series against the New York Yankees, finishing 1953 with a 38-38 record in Fenway Park. Detroit rookie Kaline went 3-0 in this game. His legendary career would see 3,007 career hits, 399 home runs, 10 Golden Gloves, and a first ballot induction into the Hall of Fame in 1980. Detroit would retire the number 6 in honour of Mr. Tiger. Harvey Kuenn would finish the season leading the American League in hits, a rare feat for a rookie. His 209 hits for a .308 average contributed heavily to his earning the Rookie of the Year title. 1953 saw Jim Piersall play his first full season after being diagnosed in 1952 with manic depression, now called bipolar disorder. He wrote about his experiences before, during and after his treatment in the critically acclaimed book, Fear Strikes Out. He would continue to play Major League Baseball until 1967. This broadcast should not be considered a complete or fully accurate historical record. Nevertheless, that was our story of the game. We thank Crafting the Call, Retro Sheet and Sports Reference. This is Classic Baseball Radio on KCBR, classicbaseball.neocities.org.